We're live. Good afternoon, guys. Greg again from Beach City on our live Facebook stream at Myriad 2018. Thank you again to Everledger and Investors Sunshine Coast for having us here and giving me the opportunity to meet fantastic, energetic people like Costa here. So Costa is the co-founder of Designerex. He's flown in all the way from Sydney today. First of all, why are we here, Costa? Why Myriad 2018?
Yeah, we've heard so many good things about the festival, but to put it into practice, our initial seed investor into Designerex actually texted me earlier this week. So it's kind of a last minute coming to Myriad, but as soon as I read up on it, I spoke to our co-founder Kirsten, and we just thought we got to be here. And we literally got the tickets and booked our flights, and here we arrived yesterday, and we're so glad that we're here.
Yeah, that's what you call a last minute decision. So far, has there been any highlights?
Yeah, well, we actually pitched. Our co-founder was actually pitching for Designerex, so that was a big highlight for us. I saw part of the on stage with the NFL player.
Oh yeah.
I saw part of that. That was a very inspiring story. But just overall, the energy and the vibe that we touched on earlier, it's just amazing. And
it really is. You know, we're at the end of the day here, and there's still buzzing and conversations and colliding. It's really fantastic to be a part of. Costa, can you give me a little bit of an insight to what exactly Designerex is?
Yeah. So Designerex is the world's first secure designer clothes sharing platform. It enables women to securely rent and lend designer dresses between one another, because it's a huge problem when a woman gets invited to go to a special event. One of the first problems is what do I wear? And so it's a peer-to-peer marketplace, and also for women that own designer dresses and they've already worn them once or twice, and it's just sitting in their closet, they can actually, instead of just sitting idle in their closets, they can actually upload it to Designerex for free and actually earn rental income from their designer dresses. In a very short space of time, we built a platform from scratch. Designerex has now grown to be Australia's largest designer dress hire destination with over 8,000 listings.
That's unbelievable, yeah.
Yeah, and we're soon expanding it to the USA.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me, what's your background, or what did you bring into Designerex?
Yeah, I guess I'm an innovator by trade. I had previously disrupted in the real estate industry, and so I've always been a huge advocate, and I'm an advocate for innovation. And the problem itself with Designerex arose when Kirsten, our co-founder, was going to an awards night, and she didn't know what to wear, and so she ended up finding a dress, and she actually rented it through Facebook. And that's when she came back and she rented that dress, and we thought, hang on, there's no end-to-end solution of women renting designer dresses to one another, and that's how the concept of Designerex arose, through the actual problem that Kirsten had, and collectively we put our minds together and developed what is now known as Designerex, and 8,000 listings later.
And you're mentioning that you're looking to head overseas.
Yes. And only recently we were in the US. We're going to be expanding Designerex to the USA because we want to build on the traction and the community that we've already got here, and use our technology now into the lucrative market of the USA.
Fantastic. And are you just staying with women clothing at the moment? Like, is there a future in men's, Tom Ford suits and some high-end brands there?
Yeah, good question. We get that question asked a lot. One of the reasons behind our successes is because we focus so much on the women's product. So who knows what happens down the track, but at this stage we're solely focused on female dresses because it's such a big problem to solve. And we just constantly improve that product, and that's what's made us successful so far, because we focus on women's dresses.
And have you had some good collisions here? Everyone talks about the collision term and the networking. Have you met some really motivating people here?
Just earlier today I was speaking to a lady from Columbus, Ohio. So I got, and she's actually from the USA, and I got a bit more insight into how the USA works, because that's something very important to us now.
Yeah, that inside knowledge.
Yeah, because we were in the USA just a few weeks ago establishing our network for Designerex to expand into the USA and to the near future. So just meeting people from the US over here, getting a different perspective, also seeing how and I've met other companies Australian companies that are also expanding to the US. because I understand there were plane loads of US people coming over.
There's been a few of them, yeah.
Yeah, from San Francisco, specifically for this festival. So just the US influence and just how much I've learned about Australian companies expanding over there and meeting more US people here as well.
And do you think is there definitely a cultural adoption you've almost got to take? You know, either way, if you're a United States coming to Australia or Australia to the United States?
I think any international market, you always got to customise for your intended market, especially from a marketing perspective. You know, for example, in our case with designer dresses, you know, in Australia it's called the Year 12 formal, whereas in the US it's called a prom. But yeah, so apart from customising, essentially, I mean, the target audience is the same, and our target audience are females between 18 to 45. And yeah, in Australia, there's between 4 million. There's about 4 million women aged between 18 and 45, and in the US, there's about 50 million in that same age bracket.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Yeah, but you definitely got to customise, especially the language, some of the marketing, to suit that specific local audience. Absolutely.
Well, Costa, I won't take any more of your time. Thank you so much for speaking with us today and coming down to Myriad. You know, last minute decision as it was. Thank you for coming and thank you for chatting with us.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.
Not a problem. And if any of our young entrepreneurs back home watching want to get in touch or ask you questions, I'm sure they'll comment and we'll tag your socials and everything, of course. So this is Greg again from City Beach, live from Myriad 2018. Thank you again to Everledger and Investment Sunny Coast for having us. We'll talk to you guys again soon, shortly.